Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the live recap session today. It is Friday the 15th of November, amazingly. Halfway through November already. And it's currently 9:34. Apologies for coming on a couple of minutes late. I was just finishing up a tuition session. So as I said, guys, as usual, what we're going to do is have a little bit of a recap session. It's not going to be a long stream. Frankly, team, there's just been not much to talk about at all this week. It's been difficult to try and keep the flow and momentum going. We did have a couple of things going on yesterday. Obviously, we'll cover those trades, what's happened, and then we'll think about the week and have a look at kind of what the week's entailed so far. It's definitely, I wouldn't say the week initially has been down in terms of trading volume for us in particular. We've still managed to pull off quite a few trades. The returns have been much more minimal. The risk reward has seen a notable change as well. We, over the course of the last, I would say, 6 weeks, have seen a bit of an increase in risk reward ratios ranging from 1 to 2.1s going up to 1 to 2.5s, which has become maybe the new standard. Whereas the last, I would say, 8 days has seen a notable change and reduction in those risk reward ratios, and the average coming down to around a 1 to 1.75. So it's quite a big drop in the risk reward ratios, and this is where we've, as I was actually just talking about this in the tuition session just a moment ago, this is really about adapting to the current market dynamics that are taking place. We've seen a reduction in those trading volumes. We're not seeing such explosive moves at the moment, even from things this week like, for example, our CPI event, which was, frankly, a bit of a washout, wasn't it? You know, it didn't really see the explosive move from this week's CPI as we previously have done. So it's just about being adaptive, and I think this week really has shown the nature of being able to be adaptive and not being too rigid and stringent on what you're looking for, more specifically than what you're trading, because at the end of the day the strategy fundamentals will remain the same, but it's just about reorganizing our risk setup to match what the market is essentially offering us. So unfortunately, this is the best trade of the week. And I just had to take a moment to really dig in about this one because it was so annoying. I was watching this at my desk, watching this happen in real time. And then I was just like, I'm pretty sure it's going to go there. I'm pretty confident. So I then ended up turning off my PC at about 6:30 and letting it go, only to wake up this morning with it at stop loss down here at 6:15. It was a real pain in my bottom. It was not great, but there we go. So we got a 0.25 hit on gold. In terms of the other positions at the moment, we had no entry on Aussie dollar yet. It's not even done the BCR. Euro yen has come down to this area. We sat on top of it for ages. Not a single thing happened. You will see the analysis has been removed. Parts of the analysis have been removed anyway. And don't worry about this, by the way, guys. This is not a live trade or pending order or anything. But we were looking for that push, weren't we, down here? And that's not done anything. Euro NZD as well. We were still kind of waiting for something to happen there. But nothing ever came through. It's just ranged the whole way through the night, the morning, the afternoon. It's just continued to range along sideways. And then we had the pound against the CAD, which I don't know what's actually happened here with not the analysis, but I think we took the hit on pound against the CAD. Or did we have another one? Yeah. Hang on, let me check the track record. Trade history. No. Okay, well, there we go. So, yesterday's US markets Um, so this looks kind of good, obviously, in hindsight. Oh, yeah, we've had some really nice moves down here. In actual fact, the only thing that happened was I got a loss on the US 30 Dow Jones. So the NAS 100, first and foremost, we were looking at the push above. We never got a single criteria on side for it, right until it took 8 o'clock to break structure and then come down in the Asia session. So you would have been stuck in a range bound market not doing anything for about 6 hours. And then in the US 30 Dow Jones, just if I come down here to the 1 minute time frame from yesterday, US 30 Dow Jones, we broke structure to the upside, jumped in a trade for a 1 to 2.5, and bang. Unfortunately, this came straight the way back down, stopped out, and it ranged, not doing a thing, through the entirety of the US session, right the way through until this point at 8 o'clock, which is then when we, I mean, can't even call that really that good, but it was 8 o'clock when we got the biggest move of the day, and then it ended up going all the way back down to 43.50. So extremely slow. Extremely. Okay. So this week, in terms of the daily profit and loss, has, I mean, to be, honestly, it doesn't look too bad, does it, from this perspective? So it's all right. But if we go down to the trade history and we look at how many positions we've taken, when did the week start? Was it the 11th, was it? Yeah, the 11th. There's been quite a few trades. Look at all this. Right, this is all just this week from that point there. So in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hello dogs. Sorry guys, got the normal lovely morning hello from all the doggies. You right there, dogs? Come on then. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 positions so far. I will be aiming to trade this afternoon. I'll be sending out, as I usually do on a Friday, I'll be sending out written and visual market analysis for you guys to take trades on for this afternoon's market. This afternoon's US session. That's going to be released at around 1:30. It's usually around that kind of time, so stay tuned for that. But out of all of these trades, I mean, it's been pretty slow going. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 losers. So it's basically 50-50, isn't it? It's basically 50-50 win-loss ratio. The other difference is, look at some of these wins that we've been having as well. 0.44, another 0.44 as it happens, in a completely different asset. 0.52, 0.5. We've had a couple still that have been good, like a 0.74 there, another 0.52, and another 0.74 there as well. But generally speaking, we've seen a big reduction in the returns, all because of the nature of what's been going on in the market so far. Now, this weekly return as it stands today is at 3.7%. The monthly return is 6.55%. Now, just to clarify, we are yet again on the 15th of the month. I'm not disappointed with that whatsoever. That's a nice return, but it is significantly less than where we were last month. Significantly. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like as the month, gets into the latter half and we start to tie things up. Now, the other thing, I'm not gonna make this a motivation. Well, like a well done session, I suppose. But we have done 404.3%. Now that is something definitely to be happy about, because that's really good. So yeah, total 404.3%, and the fund at the moment is at 504,296, which is pretty good going. That's not too bad. And that's basically where we are with that, guys. So I mean, there's not really too much more to say at this stage. Just a little recap. See what see what's been occurring over the last week. I think on reflection, market conditions and dynamics have been extremely slow. Things have started to come to a real halt. We've had some major fundamental political situations occurring as well, which have now been confirmed. They've happened. So the markets are taking a big sigh, a big exhale. They're all holding their breath, and now it's done and dusted. So they're all taking a moment. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think this is it now for 2024. And we should be already looking ahead to 2025 in terms of just taking our foot off the gas. I do want to be driving things forwards for another 3 weeks yet, 3-4 weeks before I start to wind down the active trading and the fun and stuff myself. And so therefore, I do not expect the same of any of you guys either. But yeah, we've seen changes. We've seen real changes on the ground, and with our trades. So I think we just keep doing what we're doing. I think we are going to continue seeing a further, or not further reduction, but I think we're going to continue seeing stability in our 1 to 1.7 risk reward yield. I think that's going to probably become the new norm for a while. So probably seeing a less of a return per trade. I think we're going to have to start getting a little bit more creative with our stock breakouts in the afternoon. Not starting from today, but starting from next week. Because the breakout quality at the moment has seen a real big reduction as well. If we go over and check the VIX at the moment, and this is nutty. VIX at the moment is trading at 14.85. Okay, and this is today. We've actually opened with a gap today. Yesterday, the VIX was at 13.65. The floor of the VIX, is situated there. Okay, and we were here. So we were literally a stone's throw away from minimal market volumes. Okay, no volatility whatsoever. Dead. Just goes to show you the kind of conditions that we're trading in at the moment. Yeah, it's really, really quite rough out there. So the onus is going to be on me to come up with some fun and exciting things to do in the live events that possibly don't always include trades themselves. Maybe I'll take a little bit more of a educational perspective on the markets next week, and maybe we can try and find some interesting topics of discussion to go through and talk about, rather than sourcing constant trade ideas every day and building up the fund. I don't know. Didn't really want to do that yet, but maybe we'll call that next week. We'll have a vote on it, possibly. And yeah, that's really about it, guys. In terms of the cryptocurrency market as well, I will just dig into that quickly. My crypto assets yesterday, my portfolio took a huge whopping hit. Recently, it has been very good. So I've done day before yesterday, I was up at around 50%. And yesterday we had some big sell-offs. So WIF, for example, went from 482 down to a low here of 353. So yeah, it's just the nature of the bloody cryptocurrency markets, really, guys, isn't it? It's madhouse. It's not really. It's having a bit of a dive. Same as Bonk as well. It's ridiculous saying some of these names out loud, but there you go. It's the nature of what they are. So that we saw a lot of these crypto assets come down last couple of days after they've had these really, really nice big rallies. Solana actually was really quite amazing, trading back up at around this area 212. I expect that to continue. It's finally breaking free of these ranges. We've been in these daily ranges for the best part of the year, and it's in these ranges, if you recall, for those of you who are catching up on this later, when I was building this portfolio out with you all, it's in most of these ranges when I was getting involved and buying the dips in these ranges. BTC has been absolutely incredible. There's no other way to put it. I mean, look at the damn thing, right? It's just incredible. Yeah, it really has been very, very good. Big, beautiful break of structure. Huge rally up to the highs here. A lot of geopolitical situation going on behind the scenes, I would guarantee. And there's also been a bit of a volume crunch as well with BTC. Risk as well has been affecting it. Safe haven that BTC is, or is becoming at least, is receiving a lot of safe haven money. Even bloody H-bar, which I didn't think was going to get going again ever, but it's actually done quite well and is still having a bit of a push here. So hopefully that continues. Ethereum's had a bit of a dip, but still done okay. GTO's had a relatively nice rise, but is not doing so good on the continuation after the price action pullback. So we will be waiting for a break structure above here to get that continuation. And then Ripple is on fire. Yeah, Ripple is absolutely killing it at the moment, which unfortunately is not that great considering I've got like the least exposure, I believe. I've maybe got, I don't know, I can't even remember how many I've got. Not much in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, it's doing very, very well. But the SEC's got Ripple out of its line of sight now. So that's kind of a little bit of a thing of the past. It's not fully finished yet, but I think the war is coming to an end between them and SEC. So that's been weighing really, really heavily upon XRP and some of the others, in fact. And also, obviously, you're looking at BTC being the base for all of the cryptocurrencies. If Bitcoin rises, the market rises. And so, I think if that continues, we should see continuation of all of these assets, to be honest. And they're all looking pretty good. I mean, I think another 3 to 5 years, which is, my kind of time frame. This is not, very short-term stuff. I'm expecting to leave this alone for years. And I would have no surprise seeing, Ripple eventually trading up at around 10, 15, 25 and stuff like that. And same as all of these. I don't think Bonk's going to get to 25 anytime soon. But, I would be looking at maybe getting up to the 0.0001s, for example, maybe up here in this area. Definitely over the next 3 to 5 years, 100%. I imagine something like Bonk will probably be like this and be the beginning of the Bitcoin rally. We'll see 0.0015 and stuff like that. I currently own about, I think it's 74 million. I bought in Bonk. 74 million Bonk. It really does depend on its intrinsic value, doesn't it? Like I always used to say, I couldn't wrap my head around cryptocurrencies because I couldn't see the intrinsic value. But now with the growth of, I don't really believe too heavily in the crypto side of things, but I do believe heavily in blockchain. Blockchain technology is fantastic, and I suppose if that continues, and the growth of that tech sector in particular continues to grow as it is, and at the rate it is, then all of these cryptocurrencies naturally they will go with it. So yeah, and I mean I'm not losing that much money, guys. I really, really am not. I mean, I think so currently I'm down $900 today. Hang on a minute. So yeah, just to give you an inside view, there you go. So that's what I've got going on here at the moment. So we are looking at a bit of a down period at the moment, 24-hour % change. It's all looking down. Well, for most things anyway. XRP is actually still up, so it's Vera. Yeah, don't worry about the screaming animals. They're actually happy. They are loved. Don't worry. But yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. That's the allocation there. Now, all-time profit is around $6,300 currently. And that's pretty much it. Now, just to confirm, I do have, for those of you who are watching this later, because I know a lot of you were with me when I was building this portfolio, there are assets in here, or sorry, there are assets I hold that are not actually in here, and that's because they are projects that aren't listed yet. So as soon as they are listed, then I will put them in. Like Kangamoon, for example, is probably in here, in CoinMarketCap. So that will be put in the portfolio, I suppose, whenever they decide to do that. I don't know. But I do hold 27,000 or something. I can't remember. I can't even remember. I hold a fair chunk of Kangamoon as well. But honestly, the total value of it is only maybe 1,500 quid or something. So it's not very much. But I'm just spreading out, really, and diversifying my crypto portfolio. Please listen to the way I'm speaking about this. I am by no means a experienced crypto guy, okay? Not at all. I've used a strategy called common sense investing and looking at projects that have potential real intrinsic value, things that will be used potentially by government, things that will potentially be used in various projects that have capacity to be used by business, and then gone for it. The only one that I've actually, and this will probably make you laugh, the only one that I took a random punt on, something that has no intrinsic value whatsoever, is actually the one that's given me my top gain, and that's Dog with Hat. I shit you not. That is what it's called, Dog with Hat. And yeah, that is single-handedly the largest gainer in my portfolio. It's 73.62% profit, and that has no intrinsic value whatsoever. So that really goes, I think, to sum up what the crypto space is at the moment. You know, so I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's that. So I'm pretty much going to wrap things up there, guys. I'm kind of just teetering along, trying to come up with something to talk about. But honestly, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to bore you anymore. So I'm going to wish you all a really wonderful weekend. Good day today, obviously. Hope it all goes well. And, I'm going to be out this afternoon, obviously. I'll be posting up the market analysis for the US 30 Dow and the NAS 100. So hopefully we can get a couple of positions off the ground before the weekend's here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, adding a 0.5% to the weekly gains. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be back ready to rock and roll on Monday. So I hope it all goes well. Big things planned for 2025. Obviously, I'm not going to give too much away at the moment. But yep, got some really nice new stuff for the room. Got some new things going on. Some extra little giveaways and bits and pieces that are coming down the line as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes at the moment. So hopefully that will all unfold in the coming months. But yeah, that's about it. So guys, listen, I'm going to get going anyway. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves today. Stay tuned for this afternoon's analysis, and good luck in the markets. All right, I'll see you then. Cheers. Bye.